Good evening students. This is your Bhargavi ma'am. I have come back here to explain you some more examples of organic chemistry. In yesterday's video, I have just explained you if single bond means ane, double bond means ene, triple bond means ine. Today, I am planning to explain you 4 more examples. Okay? Step by step, you can become perfect in IUPAC nomenclature. First of all, I want to tell you, in yesterday's video, I told only that 1 carbon means meth, 2 carbon means eth. If more than 2 carbons are there, what is that root word we have to use? What is that I said? Root word. In any compound, the longest carbon chain which is present, we have to write it as a root word. So you can see that I have underlined here how many carbons are there in a chain? 1, 2 and 3. If 3 carbons are there in an organic compound, we have to use the word pro. C3 pro. The next organic compound you can see here, I have 4 carbons in a chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have 4 carbons in a chain, you have to use the word bute. Like that, based on the number of carbons in a parent chain, we have to use different root words. C1 meth, C2 eth, C3 pro, C4 bute, C5 pent, C6 hex, C7 hept, C8 oct, C9 nona, C10 dec. Usually in the boards of state board or ICSE or CBSE, maximum they will ask 5 carbon compound. Those who have a problem in remembering, at least you have to remember these first 5 carbons at least. Okay. Now let us move on to the first example. You can see that as I already underlined, in the parent chain there are 3 carbons, right? So for 3 carbons, what is the word I said to use? Pro. So write it as pro. And see children, in this compound you can see only single bonds, right? So if all are single bonds, the name ends with what sound children? Yes, you are right, it is ane, propane. Other than the parent chain and the single bonds, what else you can see here? At second carbon, upside one CH3 group is attached and downside also one CH3 group is attached. What we call for CH3 group? For CH3 group, we call it as methyl. What we call for CH3 group? Methyl. So at second position, upside one CH3, downside one CH3. 2 times CH3 group is repeated at the same position. So you have to call it as 2,2 dimethyl. As the same group is repeated 2 times, you have to use the word di. And at the second position is repeated, so 2,2 dimethyl propane. So this is the IUPAC name of this compound. So let us see the next one. Here you have 4 carbon chain. For a 4 carbon chain, what is the root word we have to use? Bute. Okay, so bute. And in the compound, all are single bonds. So again the name ends with the sound ane, butane. And if you see, other than the parent chain, you have at second position a CH3 group is attached. What I say for CH3 group we call methyl. And these kind of branched chains are like a methyl group which is present, no? This is called substituent. And the substituents are always written as a prefix. What is meant by prefix? The starting of the name. Prefix means we should write before the root word. Okay. So the 2 CH3 group is present now. We call it as a 2-methyl. We should write hyphen after the number 2-methyl. Only one CH3 group is there. So we should call it as a 2-methyl butane. This is the parent chain. In this all the formula whatever we have now, 4 carbons with single bond, that we have written as a butane. At second position you have a CH3 group that we have written it as a prefix 2-methyl butane. Is that clear children? Hope so. Let us move on to the next example. Here you have 2 carbons which are connected by a single covalent bond and hydrogens are there, and here one chlorine is attached, here also one chlorine is attached. Let us count how many carbons. Just 2 are there, 1 and 2. Only 2 carbons means what is the root word we use? Eth. And you can see all are single bonds, so the name ends with the sound ethane. And at first position and second position, what is attached here? Chlorine. So chlorine as a substituent we call it as chloro. Chlorine as a substituent we call it as a chloro. At first carbon also you have one chlorine. At second carbon also you have one chlorine. So you should call it as 1, 2 dichloro. Anything if it repeats 2 times, what we call? Di. 1, 2 dichloroethane. I hope you have understood this example also. One more example. This is very important, I can say. This is nothing but your favorite acetic acid molecule. Why I said favorite? Because all of you will eat noodles, Manchurian and all, in that vinegar they add na. So acetic acid is nothing but a vinegar. That's why I said so. So if you see here in this chain, how many carbons are there? 2 carbons are there. So can I count from this side 1, 2, or I should count from this side 1, 2. Till now this problem has not come na. But here it has come because out of these 2 carbons, one is the simple carbon which is attached to the hydrogen. The another carbon is very special because it is a carboxylic group. The C double bond OH represents carboxylic group, which is one of the very important functional group. So whenever you have a functional group in the chain, the functional group carbon should get the best number. So it is 1 and this is 2. So 1 and 2. So 2 carbons are there. As usual, we have to use the root word eth. And is there any substituent? No, only functional group is present. So and related to this carbon, I can call it as eth. And whenever carboxylic group like functional group is present, we have to write it as a suffix. Suffix means at the ending of the name. I can tell you my name. Bhargavi is my actual name and my name ends with the sound ready. This ready is a suffix, I can say. Right? So here I can say in carboxylic group that C double bond OH ends at the ending of the name. For carboxylic group, what is the word we have to use? Oic acid. What is the word we have to use? Oic acid. Ma'am, how do we know that for carboxylic group we should use oic acid only? In my next video, I will teach you all the important functional groups and what suffix we have to use. Okay na? So now let us complete this name. So 2 carbons are there, so we used the word eth, and because of the carboxylic group, the name ends with the sound oic acid. So the name of this compound is ethanoic acid. What is the name of this compound, children? Ethanoic acid. I hope you all understood. If you like the video, please like and subscribe.